Hi, this is CTS560, Computational Molecular Science Online, and I'm Professor Zygmunt. I'm assuming that you have already downloaded and followed the steps on the first page of assignment number 2. So what I want to do in this video is show you how to set up a connection to our computational cluster that you'll be using from here on out in the course. So the first thing that you have to do is run the VPN client, which is this SonicWall SSL VPN net extender. So I'm assuming that you've downloaded it, and I've used this before. The username and password are your standard VU username and password. So I'll enter that here. And in just a second, the program says it's connected, and so I can close this out. It will stay connected. It does time out if there's no activity for some time, but in that case you just have to run it again. Now, I've already downloaded and installed the NX Player for Windows, which allows me, if I double click on it, to set up a connection inside the firewall. To run this, to connect to a machine that's behind the firewall on the VU campus, and I'm assuming that you've already set up your connection. Yours will be either M1 or M2 or M3.valpo.edu, and I am on S11, which is another cluster, another workstation on our cluster. So I'm just going to click on that, and there's this little rotating wheel that runs for a second, and then it prompts me for my username and password, which are the same as the ones you entered a minute ago. And if you enter those correctly, then you see this wheel again for a few seconds. Oops, apparently it didn't like my password. So let me try that again. All right, now I'm in, and what I want to do is click Create a New Session, and then create a new Genome Virtual Desktop, which is just one of the kinds of desktops that I can run on this machine in the Linux operating system. So if I can run through these steps successfully, what I will see on my Windows desktop is exactly the same thing that I would see right here if I were logged into the machine and sitting right in front of it. And so if you take your mouse and put it over some of the tools up here, you can see what these are. The terminal is the one that we will use the most. So if I click on terminal, it will then open up a command line terminal session, and it'll tell me what node I'm on. And what we will normally do is from this point, in order to build a molecule and to set up a calculation to run, we will do SSH, which is a secure shell connection, minus capital Y, space, and then we'll type N0. And N0.valpo.edu is the machine on which our graphics software is running. And so you will SSH, or create a secure connection to that machine, so that you can run this graphics software, which is called GaussView. And GaussView, the alias for that is GV, and we'll put an ampersand after that in order to run this program in the background. So when I hit return, windows will pop up all over the place, and these will be the graphical user interface that we will use to create molecules and then to set up calculations to run using the Gaussian software program. So I've got this blue window. After a few things pop up, this blue window is left, and let's assume that I want to build a molecule on this, but what I'll do is close this session in this video, and then in a later video I'll show you exactly how to do molecule building and setting up input files and actually running the molecular properties program. But for now, let's assume that you finished your work with GaussView, you close down your window, you close down the software itself. Okay, now I'm still, you can see that the prompt here tells me that I'm still logged into N0, that machine, and we will never run calculations on that machine. We will only use it to type the GV command to use the graphical interface. So what I want to do here is type exit, and that tells me I've logged out, the connection to N0 is closed, and I'm back on my original machine, S11. And if I'm done on this, we type exit again, the terminal tool goes away, and now if I go up to Actions and click on Actions, I'll get a log out. And so I type log out. Are you sure you want to log out? Sure I am. Okay. So in just a moment, this window will shut down, and I'll be back at the NX player window, and if I'm done, I can just go in the upper right hand corner and click the X to shut down. Alright, so that completely closes down my session, and I'm ready to now open up Excel or do whatever other things I might want to do. But the beauty of this connection method is that it handles all the communications between your PC and our computing cluster without you having to do anything else. So hopefully this is helpful, and there'll be other videos that will show you more of the details of using the Gauss View program and then running the molecular properties program, which we call Gaussian.